Did that know when it was the other day?
Mitch gets to do nothing.
See nothing. And the two were so far out there. I know I got that. So I'm going on the cities this weekend. I'm gonna shoot one out of my money. Call the regular meeting to order at 6:01. Roll call.
Lassie.
Here.
White.
Here.
O'Hagan.
Here.
Anderson.
Here. Pledge of allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I make a motion to recess the council meeting.
So moved.
Support. Support. All in the motion, Jeremy will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Move on to the budget. I'd like to call the budget public hearing to order at this time. Do we have any input from the public on the proposed general fund tax levy that is going to be in front of us? Anybody like to speak?
Move to adjourn hearing. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Reconvene the regular council meeting at this time. We would move, I would entertain a motion to adopt the resolution 2023-08, establishing the final city budget for 2024 and the tax levy for 2023 collectible 2024.
I'll move the adoption. I'll second that.
We have a first by Jim, second by Paul. Any discussion? Roll call.
Lassie.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
O'Hagan.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. Public input. Anybody for public input?
Could you speak a little louder, please?
I'm on the microphone. I can't get any louder than that.
Well, get as close as you can, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Moving on, we'll move, additions and deletions. We have 3 additions. Cameron from SEH, in the sewer plant, adoption of revised ordinance number 261, repealing ordinance 256, and those are establishing permit fees, services, and various other fees in campground final construction. I'll move that we move those to unfinished business, 13A, 13B, and 13C.
Second.
Any discussion? Any other additions or deletions before us? All those in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda. Approve the minutes of the regular meeting, the EDA meeting of November 21st. Approval of all bills and payrolls as audited by the audit committee, the overtime report, and correspondence.
I'll move we adopt the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion by Jim Lexi, second by Joe White. For the consent agenda. Any discussion? Roll call.
Platt,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Hoheisel,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. Attorney's report, he's not here yet at this time. We'll refer that as soon as he comes. Unfinished business. Cameron from SEH updated on the sewer plant construction. Go forward.
Yes, I brought this to the council, and I'd like to announce that our sewer plant that we've been working so hard on out there is just about finished. We have a few things left to do, and our on-site engineer, Cameron Bruce, right here, and also with Bob Stark back there from SEH, is gonna give you a little update on how that's going, and I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Cameron Bruce. I'm a graduate wastewater engineer at SEH, and as Paul mentioned, I'm the on-site engineer throughout the construction of the wastewater treatment facility. Our project manager is not with us anymore with SEH, John Friel. So Bob Stark is taking over that role, just helping out with project management throughout the remainder of the project. So yeah, I've been out on site throughout the whole duration of construction. It started in October 2021, and then has progressed until now. Basically, would you want me to go over
Just what's basically.
just the status
in
of
the
construction?
you know, the filters and stuff
Sure.
like that.
Okay.
What we want to do.
Yeah.
Highlighted.
Yep. So I'll go over the project a little bit. So basically, it's a brand new wastewater treatment facility with only a few pieces of infrastructure and equipment still remaining. So there's a lot of demolition. Basically includes a pretreatment building for grit removal and screening, aeration tanks, and then kind of sophisticated equipment called membrane bioreactor, or MBR. So basically that's ultrafiltration to remove mercury from the wastewater. That's kind of the driving factor behind this new project. MPCA put a mercury limit on the facility permit. So, and then there's means for solids handling and solid storage for the operators then to land apply as they've done with the existing facility. So that's kind of a overview of the project. And then, yeah, as I explained, October 2021, it started construction. Yeah, went throughout that winter into the next summer. Construction progressed. Then winter 2022, they did a lot of interior work on the new buildings. getting the new equipment up and running. And then spring, summer 2023 was full operation of the new facility. So since this summer, it's been in full operation, and currently the contractor's working on various punch list items to wrap up the project.
Basically putting in the gate and planting the grass next spring and we're good to go.
Yep.
$18 million project online,
Yep.
and working well.
Yeah, it's working very well. The operators are pleased. So yeah, it's been a great project to be a part of, and looking forward to continue working with you guys.
Thank you, Cameron.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
If you had any questions, I think Cameron would be more than happy to answer.
Are you gonna have an open house for them?
Yes, we are. We're gonna do that in the spring. Right now, nobody wants to go up there in the winter and money spring. We'll wait until like about May or so. Have an open house for everybody to go up there and check it out. Quite the facility.
Any other questions? Moving on, we go to 13B, the revised ordinance number, or 261, excuse me, repealing ordinance number 256, establishing permit fees. Can I have a motion?
I'll move we adopt the ordinance establishing the fees for the coming year.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Moved by Jim Lassie, seconded by Paul Weiser. Roll call on this.
Lassie,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Hoheisel,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. 13C, campground final construction payment. I believe that would be Jason.
Thanks, Glenn. Attached in your packets is the final payment for Wagner Construction for the RV campground. They have completed their punch lists and have provided all the final closeout documentation, lien waivers for paying their sub-consultants. So at this point, I recommend final payment to Wagner. There are a couple of warranty items that have been brought up that will be addressed separate from construction under the project warranty. I know there are some plumbing fixtures that were leaking that they've been notified that they'll have to come back and address. But other than that, they've completed their construction contract. I was just looking back at my notes. We started the design on this in 2017, started construction in 2021, and it's exciting to see it's, well, at least from my perspective, it's coming to a close.
It's a beautiful site. Thank you very much for the design. Just nice up there.
Thank you. I know there was a lot of challenges along the way with construction and boulders and whatnot, but I think hats off to the council for moving the project forward. And keep in mind, you guys were able to secure 6 different grants for that project to help make it happen.
Well, we appreciate your efforts, and Jason, you did a real fine job for us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure working with you guys.
Do we have the bill?
Yeah, it's $63,242 for the final payment.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to pay the final bill on that. The construction on campground.
I'll second that motion. Any discussion? I'd also like to see Andrea sitting in the audience there. I'd also like to say thank you, because you were on the council at that time. Our work, a big part of it, so recognition also. So, any other discussion? Roll call.
Lassie,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Hoheisel,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. Thank you.
Yep.
You ready? Move to the attorney's report, yeah, anything.
No, I don't, just agenda items tonight here.
Okay, thanks. Move on to, committee reports. What we have. Okay, business. We have Phil Larson here, giving you a presentation. Come up with this, we have a presentation, we'll chat about this project. And they're also requesting to rent some room in the city hall. And they're bigger.
So I guess, well, thanks for your time tonight. Phil Larson, and my previous high-level project advisor for Pulsar Helium. Yeah, we're in the process of developing a.
Paul, could you just lift your mic up so it's a little closer so that people can hear you?
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah, thank
Phil-
you.
Sorry, yeah, Phil Larson, somewhere on the
Oh,
agenda. Yeah. So Pulsar Helium is in the process of developing, we're drilling an appraisal, what we're calling an appraisal borehole for a helium discovery that was made east of Babbitt, Dunker River Road about 12 years ago. And, it's quite a complex undertaking. In back with Michael Sturdy, our general manager of operations, and Garrett from our drilling company. Yeah, they've been all checking out the site today. Anyways, we're anticipating that the appraisal borehole will be drilled in early February, and are looking for a place, a space where we can rendezvous with visitors and other people who might be interested in observing the activities up there. And so, came by the city here a couple of weeks back and said we want space for rent, so we're going to ask that we can go along to do so for January. So, that would be the business item that we have for you. And, in conjunction with that, we're prepared to, we've got a little slide deck we can show you to kind of explain what the project is, if you're interested. So, for you guys, and I'll proceed.
Here's a couple questions. How big are these pockets, these helium pockets that you guys are tapping into? I mean, is it like a days with, I guess you kept capture the gas and you put it in the truck, right?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, we'll, if this turned into a commercial operation, there'd probably be a compression plant, perhaps even on site, to initially do an initial first pass on, compressing, doing a little refinement of the gas. So,
And I heard a rumor also, it's just rumor now, that usually, where we get the helium now, it's usually about 1 to 3%. And the helium you found out there is like 10%?
10.5%.
10.5%?
Yeah. It's,
So it's really, really rich.
yeah, it actually is, one of the highest helium concentrations ever reported in a naturally occurring gas. So, I mean, we're excited about that. This is potentially a world-class discovery.
Sounds good.
So, if you'd like to see slides, I think I gotta take just a moment here to set up the projector.
Here, put it on the screen here, on all the I don't know, I wouldn't have figured that. That
Ask.
Nuts.
We'll move on to the next, agenda item here. And that is adopt resolution number 2023, spelling city of Abbott, delinquent utility garbage, and such, and savings county.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2023-07.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Paul Monaco, second by Joe White, to adopt resolution number 2023-07. Any discussion?
This has been yearly, isn't it?
Roll call.
Lasky,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Hoheisel,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. President agenda request one.
This is something that we've had as protocol in the office. I just kind of revamped the form. I think you might have wanted to update it, but I changed a little bit of it. It's easier to see if, like this, we can write as the request that there's information only action and number discussion, so then you know if there's something happening on it.
Did you revise? You said you revised it. What did you revise?
Well, basically it was a paragraph before, and then I just made it into a format, kind of, so it's a little more user friendly, I think. And it'll help the council a little bit more on what the residents are looking for. Maybe put on the agenda.
Yep, I think it looks fine.
And this form's on the webpage.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? I'll make a motion that we adopt the agenda request form.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Applications for hiring part-time snow drivers. We have 2 applications.
Oh, so Tony couldn't be here today because we have a fire meeting.
Yep.
But he just wanted to recommend the hiring of John Chanette and Ted Kruger
Yep.
for part-time plow drivers.
Yeah, that was part-time. Okay.
You wouldn't know how many we would have there.
Just, well,
Cause
the
there's
two,
some on already.
yep, and then there's the belts and, Stallburger and McGrady. So there would be 5 part-time total. And it sounded like the issue was that 2 of those part-time, work the same shift at the mine, so they wouldn't be likely to, this winter.
And this was just this is a list that Tony had asked, if we could have a list of drivers in case you need it.
Right.
So,
I'll move we add those two people, Jeanette and Kruger to the part-time drivers.
Second.
Moved by Lassie, second by Hoheisel, to approve the 2
As long as they have the right licenses.
which
Voting, I know.
they're going to, Tony employees, so they are already licensed. So we don't have to. Any other discussion? Seeing as we're hiring, roll call please.
Lassie,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Hoheisel,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes. Recreation Director, possible vacation rollover.
Hi. So I have about 24 hours that I want to use for the last weekend, Christmas break weekend, or week. But in the event that it snows, I have to come in, and if that happens, I would like to not lose my vacation time. I was advised that I could ask you guys about possibly rolling it over.
Since you've been on your own all year long, I'd like to make a recommendation that we authorize the rec director to roll over her vacation. You've been doing a great job for the city, and thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Anybody second that?
The only question I have is,
It's about 24 hours.
Well,
It's
that's
not,
all.
yeah, it's not much.
I just want to make sure it wasn't.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna take, a month off or anything.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Rams annual dinner and meeting is December 14th, starting at 5:30. You need to know by Friday. And is going to, I will attend.
I'll be there. All of them.
Okay,
I think we do that this week.
yeah, meet up.
I'll move we authorize the council staff to attend.
Second.
This is part of our Rams, so it doesn't necessarily. So this is a chance to meet legislators, rest of the ranks, and that, so it was a great function. So, if you can make it, that'd be great. So, we have a motion on the floor, if you go ahead. Motion, all second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And just let staff know, so we should put that in before that. Are you ready?
Well, unfortunately, we can't find
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
Can't find a cable that would work, so,
Can we ask you to come back at our next call?
yeah, certainly. We're,
I'd like to see, I will first.
oh, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Presentation.
If you'd like, I can just, off the cuff here, give a short overview of what we found. If you're more interested.
Sure.
So, yeah, so so as I mentioned, the original hole was drilled in 2011. It was a part of the copper nickel exploration program. And the hole hit a gas pocket, pressurized gas pocket, and it actually blew the core tube out of the drill string, if you know what that is. So there was a lot of pressure, and flown for, I think, 4 or 5 days while we were, I was actually involved with that project, with that operator. So it flown for 4 or 5 days while we, were very carefully trying to figure out exactly what we're dealing with. There was concern that it might be explosive gas. But it turns out it absolutely wasn't. So the drilling contractor was able to seal the hole. And we were able to, walk away from that project. Walk away from that hole, right, which was not part of what we were targeted or even had a lease to do. But as it turns out, we collected it. We were able to collect a couple gas samples and have it analyzed, determine what exactly we're dealing with within that initial, gas coming out of the hole. And it turns out it was about 10.5% helium, which at the time we were just kind of scratching our heads, like I'm sure most people would, not appreciating exactly what that meant. It was about 77% carbon dioxide, and the remainder was mostly nitrogen, and there was just a trace of methane, so about 2%, which is not uncommon to find up here, but well below the explosive, well below what we believe would be an explosive hazard. Okay. So years later, we started, you may or may not be aware, in the last, 5 to 10 years or so, there's been basically a developing helium shortage, both globally and in the United States, as the federal government is winding down its strategic helium reserve. Right? They're actually, I think this week just announced that they're auctioning off some of the final federal assets. So that's spurred a lot of interest in trying to find new helium sources. So it wouldn't take a lot of work at all to find a group that was interested in pursuing this, if it's a possible new source. So for several years now, we've been in extensive conversation with, both federal and state agencies, we're working with private landowners and private mineral owners, that's under private mineral ownership. Basically, as a first step here, we have to basically re-drill that well and do a proper reservoir test, see exactly what the reservoir is, and give us some potential as to what the actual size of it is. So that's where we're at on the project right now. We've been working away at this for, probably steadily for about a year or so now. And I don't know, I imagine some of you may have noticed that there's been some road construction taking place on Dunker River Road. Yeah, all that actually is all on our nickel, right? Because we're having to upgrade that forest road to access what will end up being a fairly large drill rig. Something probably unlike anything that's ever been seen up here. This is not, a diamond rig that's used for drilling a couple of 100 feet of technical. But part of this is that we have an idea of what we hope to encounter, but we're preparing to make sure that we don't have, that if we run into unexpected conditions, we have the equipment on site that's able to contain and control that. So this is going to be a full sort of oil patch drill rig with, blowout protection and mud system. And, it's, where's the rig moving out of?
Coming out of North Dakota, northeast.
Yeah, so we're coming out of the Dakotas and Wyoming, so even just that mobilization cost is pretty, it's pretty significant. Right? And then, where it goes from there, we have, to make no promises whatsoever at this point in time. In the event that things are found in a commercial quantity and we're able to proceed to develop this, what we can kind of envision is that, there would be a some sort of a compression plant out here, and we would, the ultimate, what would happen to the different products coming out of the hole. The helium is a fairly high value commodity at this point in time. The nitrogen that's in the hole can be safely vented to the atmosphere, and that's mostly what our atmosphere is just nitrogen that is seeped out of the ground over time. And then as far as the carbon dioxide goes, we actually, our preliminary look at it is that that is potentially a saleable product as well, because there is a market for, industrial uses for, sort of high purity carbon dioxide. Since the, and because this project doesn't seem to be associated with hydrocarbons, oil and natural gas or petroleum, it seems like there's a potential to develop a pretty high purity carbon dioxide product that would be in demand for, well, I don't know, maybe all I need to do is to say it's what makes you beer fizzy. So it's in demand with breweries and food processors and a lot of different applications, right? And this has potential to be sort of a food grade carbon source. The company that's supporting this, Pulsar Helium, is now listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. It's and there's been several $1 million raised in support primarily of drilling this appraisal borehole here in Minnesota. So it's a because this type of endeavor is not cheap. Right? So it's kind of a testament to the potential of the project that it's been relatively seamless in raising capital in what's overall pretty tight market.
But there will not be footprint. I mean, once you go in there, you do it, you come out, you won't even know besides the road. But
yeah, I mean, it's the drill pad, which has all been permitted and approved, and it's mostly constructed and permitted by Lake County. It's about a 2-acre size pad, and it's we've done some cut and fill work to produce that flat drill pad. So it's about 2 acres in size, and that's mostly to allow the drillers to array all of their equipment in the positions that they need to do to make sure the project proceeds smoothly. When we're done, a couple of scenarios there, like the processing plant, the compression plant would likely, if it came to that stage, compression plant would likely fit inside the confines of the drill pad. So essentially, at least for this first appraisal borehole, we're potentially at maximum surface disturbance. Right. And then as far as like what is actually in the ground, it's a well casing in the ground. Because the gas would basically come out of the ground under its own pressure, right? So it's no need for you don't have to sink pumps down there and install things like that. So it would be an open borehole. The gas would optimistically would flow on its own out of the hole. At some point in the future, when the project is done, the casing is pulled, the hole is sealed, the pad is regraded, reseeded, and that's it. It's an extractive industry, but there wouldn't be there aren't things like waste rock piles or anything like that. But one note that for all of us here in Minnesota to keep in mind is that one of the extremely attractive things about this project and the potential broader regional potential here is that it doesn't seem like it's associated with any sort of hydrocarbon, either liquid petroleum or natural gas, methane, natural gas. So that means that a project would potentially be developed with a very small footprint, and a very low capital expenditure, which will greatly smooth. I mean, it makes, it would make it very easy potentially to bring a new unit on the market. And, and as far as so a lot of the money that the company has raised has been with that understanding that what we are doing is actually targeting the potential low capital expenditure new units. So if that is, if by some, but actually by way of background, I'm a geologist, so I can't quite know about this, but by some freak occurrence, we were to find significant natural gas, methane concentrations, or petroleum or something like that, which I just can't imagine would be much potential, any potential really, to find something like that. It would actually be it would be a negative for this project, right? So it contributes a whole level of complexity and potential commercializing this. Yeah, we're hoping to avoid. So,
Who are your regulatory agencies or permitting agencies that report?
The principal one at this point is actually in Lake County as a land use permit, for, that, and we think if it eventually turned into a commercial operation, we might still be dealing with Lake County to obtain a commercial use permit for the site. We are registered with Minnesota Department of Health, which is regulating the drilling of the boardwalk, right? We're complying with just the regular exploratory boring rules that apply to, mining companies, exploration companies, and sort of thing. And the third major agency we've been dealing with is the Forest Service. Because so we currently have a special use permit to use the Gunter River Road for moving commercial vehicle traffic for this project, the appraisal boardwalk project. And that's so the road construction work that we've done over the summer and on the fall has all been done under that special use permit from the Forest Service.
So you don't have to do like environmental impact statements
From,
stuff like this?
I mean, I can't say no, but, it's, I mean, that's almost speculative at this point, because it depends on, will we find a commercially viable discovery? What's the size of it? What, and once we understand, potentially how much helium and other gases are present at the site, that will, a lot of that work translates directly into designing potential facilities, present facilities and the other things. And we, have a better read at that point in time to, as how much is vehicle traffic going out there, that sort of thing. So there are a lot of unknowns at this point in time. But, at least our initial look at it is we don't think that this project would be subject to, it's not one of the categories that is mandated for certain levels of environmental review by the state.
Well, we're really used to environmental review here.
Yeah, it's, I know, I think I should have gone into that. It's even unfortunate. But,
And on here, I see you have the request for, well, I would direct you to Rebecca's,
yeah,
city clerk.
Yeah. Yeah, they said we had to run it by the council.
Yeah.
So,
I think we need to bust that, and
Fine, place for you, that's fine.
so, yeah, I mean, I know that many of you probably heard rumors about this discovery through the years. So we're anticipating that there are a lot of people who will be interested to select, what the project details and what it actually looks like on the ground. So, we're, as it turns out, we're gonna, the current target for drilling this appraisal borehole, which is kind of subject to getting a drill rig mobilized into place, is early February. So, and that's, in part that helps us, I'm actually very excited to see lack of snow up here, because I know we're gonna have,
We might have some by now.
maybe by then, but we're gonna have a lot of frostbite in too, so that'll help, help keep the roads in good shape and that sort of thing. So, what we're looking to do is just, if we're anticipating that, any number of people are gonna be interested in visiting the site, so how we're gonna do that is coordinating site visits. And, we're looking for just a place for people to monitor and go through like a safety briefing, safety orientation, before we get on the site.
So I would offer on the 19th, you said, is our next call.
Okay.
5 o'clock.
Okay, yep. Yeah.
If you would come.
Oh, yeah, no, my sincere apologies.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't know, I live in a world where it's everything's on the projectors and power.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Any other questions?
Thank you. Yeah, well, thank you, thanks for your time. Okay. Well,
Yeah. Moving on. The library.
It's an informational packet. I put it in the mailboxes a week ago. Yeah.
This one.
Yes.
Well, I've got a few questions about the library board as far as the powers and that of the library board. After looking at the packet, roughly what it's projected to be. When we started the budget at the beginning of the year, this council was chastised for supposedly cutting so much out of the budget. And we took a lot of heat from outside, inside, and everything else. And then we find out that there's money available, and the library board has money, and then all of a sudden we get this packet, which is talking about cutting staff, changing things, and it's like, really? It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Well, what happened? We were projected as the real bad people there, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's money available, and it's more than what is actually projected, is what we're hearing, because you have a grant that's coming in from different places. But now all of a sudden, we're gonna do all this, so is this the plan all along? That's what I look at. Was this the plan from the beginning? Because when we first started on our budget, the original budget, the payroll alone was about $3. And that was slashed immediately because that isn't what we agreed with everybody on there. We had contract negotiations with everybody. So the high rate that they were asking for was one of the first cuts that we made on that thing. But that wasn't shown to the people. They didn't understand that we went from almost a 20-some% pay raise for the staff down to 4% for 1 year, 3.5% for the second year, 3% for the third year. But that's what was realistic. So when we whacked that budget, that was part of the big whack of it. Yes, it went down some, but that was a very, very big part. And a lot of people didn't understand it. So then, all of a sudden, you're saying they're broke, or they can't make it, but yet now we're gonna take staff and eliminate a position and lower hours. And, you know, we're looking at it as a different thing. What I would like to know is, and done a little research on looking at it, is, was this city ever make the library board a governing board? Or did we make it an advisory board? And there's a difference. And looking at it, I don't see that they ever did make it.
State law.
Looking through the ordinances and regulations, I have not found anything, saying that a council has given for more hours than what we have. It has nothing to do with that board and library board. So what I did find, what I wrote up on was the Minnesota Police Handbook, which you have a copy of. That said, the mayor of the meeting for the council will hold the board. Then, once established, the board decides rules and procedures, selects its officers, and controls the library fund. Now, this is all based on Minnesota statutes, which I gave you a couple copies of. But that is pretty much the only thing that I've been able to find looking through all the records.
And the thing that I looked at was, being on council, Jim's been on council for a long time. Is, I don't see, when you read the statute, when you read even the library, paperwork that the library actually puts out, the state puts out, to remove people that are on library boards. It states in there that, you know, the library director is hired by the city council on that, and our county administrator. If the general or the governing board does it, if it's a governing board, then it's done by the governing library. What we have hired, the city council has hired the last librarians, as far as I can remember. It's been passed through us that we hired.
The library board has always hired the library director.
We've always finalized, and that gives us that we have done it. We hired the person. And when we look at that, that means that
Which one
we
did we
would be an advisory board.
Which one did you hire?
So according, I'm just reading what the. Okay. So what do you do?
Okay, so you have, the statute is, when public library service is established, which established here in the city on roll, the library board is created by statute, it's kind of by statute. So you have a statutory library board here that by state law acts as a basically an autonomous board within city government. So the city council has basically three functions as it pertains to the library board. You appoint the members of the library board. You can remove a library board member. Basically, it's the way it's worded is the mayor appoints the library board members with approval of the council. The mayor also can seek to remove a board member from the library board with support of the council. Removal of a library board member can only be done based upon neglect or misconduct of that board member. So you have the power of appointment and removal. You have the power to set the budget for the library board, or for the library. Once that budget is set,
and those funds are basically put into the library fund or account. The library board has autonomous authority over controlling how that money is spent. But you basically set the budget. And then essentially the only other situation that the council would be involved is if they were gonna build a new facility or acquire this, then that has to be acquired or done in the city, so it's impossible to have all of that. Otherwise, the library board is an autonomous board, so if they decide to hire a library director or other staff, or if they decide to fire staff or reduce staff, that all falls within their jurisdiction. And the council does not have any control. So they are not an advisory committee of the city, they are autonomous board within the city government staff.
Well, then I'm confused because when I'm reading their own stuff, Mitch, from the library,
That's a legal opinion coming from a city attorney who has 30 years of legal experience.
well, I understand,
So
I'm just saying.
if you wanna go fencing on it, that's fine, but that's a professional legal opinion, and it's a proper interpretation. So
Well, I'm just saying,
I know what you just are saying, but that's my legal opinion.
So in the case of they're removing a union job, they're gonna have union grievance then.
There is no union grievance, I'll explain that.
Okay, so my concern is if they go through with that and it becomes legal fees.
There is, okay.
So well, that's what I'm asking, will there be legal fees? Will the city be liable for any? You're not free.
Well, okay, it depends on, okay, so first of all, it's not a legal issue.
Okay.
The decision by the employer, whether it's the library board or the city council or the employees who are under your jurisdiction, you have, under union contracts, you have complete management authority and discretion to eliminate positions. So that is your decision. That's clearly contained in the management rights language of your collective bargaining agreements. You have the right to eliminate a position. If you decide for whatever reason, if you decided, if you have jurisdiction over the police department or public works, you decided for whatever reason that position was not needed in city government, that it was extraneous, you could eliminate that position, you would have no say. Similarly with the library board, the staffing of the library is within their jurisdiction. If they decide for whatever reason that a position is not needed, and they eliminate the position, that's not needed. Union can try to grieve it, but it's not a legal issue. If they grieve it, we have, if they try to file a grievance on it, you have to respond to the grievance, and there are some legal fees incurred, then, yeah, the city and the library board need to sort that out as to who's running that.
Any other questions? Motion made. Next meeting will be held December 19th at 5 o'clock.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
First by Paul, second by Jim. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.